Tonight, a new federal report shows homelessness has surged in the United States, and the growing crisis is hitting home from housing costs to stigma. Iowa's News Now investigative reporter Nick Elhaj is live to show us how it's impacting people here.
Nicole, a federal report released Friday reveals a grim reality. Homelessness nationwide has surged by more than 18% this year, the sharpest increase in decades. HUD data shows that over 770,000 Americans were homeless on a single night this year. Locally, the numbers are just as alarming. In Linn County, an August count showed a staggering 41% increase in unhoused individuals, and experts say that's likely an undercount. Behind these numbers are real people like Bonnie Faminian, whose experiences highlight the daily challenges and dangers and systemic gaps faced by the homeless. It's a crisis growing larger than ever. Nationally, homelessness went up by more than 18% this year, according to a federal report, with Iowa seeing an even steeper climb of 56% in its unsheltered population.
Several people are a couple paychecks away from landing the exact same position that I am.
Bonnie Faminian, a University of Iowa graduate, has lived without a home for over a year. She says at the heart of the crisis lies the cost of housing.
A lot of places want you to make 3 times the rent. So, I mean, the last place I lived when I was a house person was a 1-bedroom that I was paying $750 a month for. By the time I added in my optional utilities, it was $900. To be honest, I had roaches in this apartment, so.
The National Low-Income Housing Coalition says to afford a modest apartment in Iowa, a minimum wage worker must clock in 84 hours each week. In Cedar Rapids, the fair market rent for a 1-bedroom apartment is $788, out of reach for many. Faminian also says stigma only deepens the crisis.
Once you are homeless and you start having issues filling out job applications because you don't have an address, that is automatically a barrier.
As the days get colder, the risks grow. But she says even shelters present challenges.
Homeless shelters are not ideal, and that is why some of us still choose to sleep outside. There is a lot of sickness that goes around, a lot of mental illness. That's just a rife recipe for chaos.
But being outside also leaves her vulnerable. On Christmas Day, while sheltering near a Cedar Rapids parking garage, she says she was attacked.
I felt something wet, and I was very confused about what that could possibly be, and we realized that we were being attacked and had objects thrown at us from people on top of the 9th floor of the parking.
She says the objects hurled included eggs, soda bottles, and even gallon jugs of milk.
A gallon of milk, a gallon of water weighs over 8 pounds. From that height, that could have actually killed somebody.
She says police responded quickly, but only filed littering charges, leaving her disheartened.
The next day I followed up and found out that there was not going to be any assault charges, and I wasn't very happy about that. If you are homeless, you are way, way, way more likely to be a victim of a violent crime. We are very easy to access. We're not protected.
The Cedar Rapids Police Department told Iowa's News Now they are still investigating this. Meanwhile, the rise in homelessness coincides with a growing trend of communities taking a stricter approach. Faminian moved to Cedar Rapids after new ordinances in Des Moines were passed this year, banning camping in public areas.
They wanted to do a fine of $50, which everybody's thought was ridiculous. They're like, they're homeless people, where are they going to get $50 from? Well, when you are homeless, a lot of the things you do in your daily life are going to be illegal. That's just kind of a fact of life. You don't care about a certain citation. You care about survival. Would I rather lose my fingers when it's negative 30 degrees, or would I rather get a ticket or go to jail?
That 18% increase of over 100,000 people comes on top of a 12% increase in 2023, which HUD blamed on soaring rents and the end of pandemic assistance. There are some positive trends in the report, though. Homelessness among veterans dropped 8%, and several large cities like Dallas and Los Angeles had success bringing down their homeless numbers. Live in studio, Nicole Hodge, Iowa's News Now.